Hello, this is Jeff Jennings with BIM Modular. In this video, we're going to cover an innovative method to use Revit Lookup Tables to handle the document annotation within project models. In this view, we're seeing where we're able to tag all the different wall types with their particular thicknesses, their uses, interior, exterior, and their type information. So we're going to cover this methodology. Keep in mind, this methodology is also can be applied to floor systems, roof systems, ceiling systems, architectural finishes. You've got from furniture to kitchen cabinetry. All that can be applied to even mechanical, electrical, plumbing, or any other element you're placing into a model that you want to provide documentation. You can use lookup tables for handling that. This methodology also works best when you're a company that already has a lot of standards in your operation. So if you are doing a whole bunch of off-the-fly, custom, bespoke work, this may be a little more of a difficult method. If you are doing a lot of standardized, which most companies seem to be, then this method can work very well and very powerful for your projects. So let's go ahead and begin the process. I'll show a plan view here. So here is we're using these little data cubes. It's a marker. In this case, we have one right here, generic model called marker wall types. This marker, as you can tell, has an assignment value for the wall type, and it's reading information from a lookup table. So in this case, the interior plus the information here is a multi-layer. If I go ahead and this one over here, let's look at the exterior stone. I'll go ahead and select it, and we'll see this is wall type 1C. We'll see that we've got this exterior, and then here's the full list of a multi-line item element being placed. So now let's go through the process of how is this all generated, how is this all done. So what we're going to do first is go ahead and generate I'll show you here as a three-dimensional object. All I did was open up a file new, created a generic face-based element, and I went ahead and set it up in plan view. As such, and all this is a simple little, this can be any size, but it's basically so down here, a 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cube. So I'll go right here, you'll see here, just 1 inch. Now what we're doing is we're going to now I'll show you here in 3D what I've set up here. Let's go to our family types. So I've added a standard parameter called show data cube, and that's an on-off visibility parameter, and this is going to be assigned right here to the visibility. We also have a standard parameter name. You can see right here, just a standard type, and it's text-based called lookup table, and that's where we're assigning our lookup table we're going to create. And right here is our assembly type, and this also is just a standard, actually this is a shared parameter used for reporting purposes, and I gave it an instance value and text. And also these two here are also shared parameters, shared parameter and text-based instance here and also here. So now what we're able to do is have these shared parameters to be applied, and this can be any name you want. Shared parameters you already have in your business, that's fine. And in this case here, this video is to show the principles of this methodology that you can customize however you need to fit your existing standards in your business. But what we're doing now is basically looking at this lookup table we're about to create. When a host has a certain assembly name to it for a floor, wall, roof assembly, it's going to look at that lookup table for this value, and it's going to push back out the results here, which would be in this case, our multi-layers of our wall assembly. So our function generates here, and then also right here, you'll see all the parts. So if I go in there and change this, I already have a type catalog loaded, for example, but we can change it down to 2B, you can see everything changes. That changes here to a 1C, we're back to exterior, here's stone, and such. So now, how are we doing this here? So we have a lookup table that right here, wall types, that's been imported into this cube object. And from here, what we're doing is we're referencing the lookup table reference, which is the wall types. And we're looking at the assembly column. If nothing's available, it's going to be blank. And what we're referencing is the assembly type right here, this parameter. So we've got the parameter, the rule here, size lookup, the parameter lookup table, the column in the lookup table called assembly, and then the parameter again back here for the assembly type. This follows the same thing. So the only thing between these two things is which column we're looking at in the lookup table. One is assembly and one's called use. So that's it. And then we have the data cube visibility here. So let me press apply here. That data visibility cube here is right there. If we go to visibility, you'll see I've assigned visibility to that. That allows us to turn on and off this data cube in the object in the model. So I'll cover that in the last part of the video here. So let's go ahead in here and show you how the lookup table is done, and then we'll go back and make the annotation tag. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm using Family Type Manager to go ahead and to build out our lookup table. So in this case here, let me just tab in here and generate one. So in fact, I've already got some values. I'm going to pull over here. And just paste those in here. And I'm going to go back and just delete a lot of the stuff right here we don't need. I'm going to delete these rows too. Okay. So what I've got here, and to create a multi-line environment here for in Excel, all you have to do is just do a right here, just do a Alt Enter key, and that allows you to create new lines information. So that's all that was done to create our layer assignments. So now we've got is very simply, this is used for grouping of information. In this case, I called out for exterior. This is what I called out for interior. Here are our business standards. So we have our standard wall types that we're doing for this example. Here's how that assembly is for our standards, and here's how we're using our function. You can set up as many columns as you want to, more data. Just know in lookup tables, always read left to right. So you must have your information you're looking up is on the left part, this column here. You can add more granular detail of search. So if you've got a lot of repetition information, you can add more columns going left to right. Yeah, they all be together, and they can look as many columns down here. So this could be a 20 column lookup table for all it matters, but let's keep this very simple. So let's go back in here, export this. I'm going to call this wall types and create the new lookup table. Now I exported the table out. So what I can do now in Revit here, in this bomb cube file, is come back in here to my properties, do my manage lookups, do my import, and this is the file we just done, import it in, guess where to place it. At this point here, all of our information is all shown. So we're going to apply that, and done. We then go back in there and load that back into your project, in this case wall types with layer tag. That's all there in place. Now, how did we make these tags? So let's go through the process of creating those tags. So I'm gonna go back in here. So what I've got is I've created a tag in an annotation family, generic model tag, and I've created two different labels, label here and label here. This label is using, number one, I've set up the settings here for it to be underlined and bold. So that's done. And I've set up a label, which is going to be under my assembly type. That's my shared parameter I created. I also down here are the other shared parameters I have. These are not underlined or bold. And in this case here, I grabbed the other two that we have for items and functions, brought them over, did a line break, and done. That's all we had to do for creating this tag. So when I go back and load in this tag into the project, we now have our tag information. So what that means is we're able to now go and place these host-based elements anywhere we want to in plan view, 3D view. So it's as simple as just grab one here or drag one over. So you have options here about place on face, place on work planes. So we can go ahead and actually use these data cubes to place on any side of an object where you need. And at that point here, all you have to do is assign which values. In this case here, I'm able to use my host value up here to reference here in this place. So let's say, for instance, this you see here, here's the information for that stucco value. If it was 1B, then we have a brick system, which is actually back here to 1B. Another nice feature is about visibility control is that you can come back in here now as a type-based scenario, type properties, and uncheck your visibility options, and all of your markers are now hidden from the project. So that way, if you a nice clean project, you can export your files out, and no one ever sees the little data cubes being shown. And so I go into plan view, they're all hidden. You can also set all of your tag placements, arrows, leaders, what you want to do can be placed according to your views. So let's say 15 degrees. So everything looks the same for your projects, but these are all linking to a data cube intelligent. That means later on, when you need to ever make a change to your standards, maybe how you're annotating information, what is the type of information you're dealing with, just go into your data cube, update your lookup table in data cube, load it into a project, and every single thing across the board that is going to, if anything that was impacted will be updated. Anything that was not impacted will remain the same. So it gives you a very robust methodology to also handle all of your tagging, and you only have to place one cube on a per wall basis wherever you want to actually tag. So maybe there's only 15 different key locations you want to tag out on a project. Just place those where you need and be done. So this rule again works for furniture to cabinetry to doors, windows, and you can apply any information you want to into the model with this methodology in place. So I greatly appreciate you watching this video, and I hope it was of great benefit. Thank you.